You know what? Normally we would cut it to 5, folks.
A cakewalk for sure.
No, and you guys know this as much as anybody. You feel good and you stand next to somebody and you start thinking, should I have come back?
Absolutely, and I think, with the tools that Brandon has, he didn't come in too far off of what he was when he won the competition. And Phil coming back still had a few issues with the issues he left with. And we got to find out whether or not that's going to continue to dog him throughout this final placements. Hottie's going for it. He's having fun with the 7-time champion, Phil.
I think we're going to see an upset with Hottie.
I tell you, Hottie really improved. I mean, he moved up quick.
Well, Hottie's been very consistent throughout the show, so that's the one common denominator from yesterday today. I had him in our top 4. He knocked William Bonek out initially out of the top 4 because William was there initially.
Definitely.
So I think Hottie's got to feel good being in that top 4. I think the question is, where are we going to wind up with the gift? Has he made enough improvements to upset the reigning champion? And that's still a coin toss for me. I still think that Brandon doesn't have enough flaws, like he didn't mess it up.
Representing Trifecta. Four-time
We are
Olympian
back,
Jay
and it is time to find out
Who's 5th, actually?
who's 5th.
Who is 5th place? Well,
we're going to be wondering who was 6th, and for that matter.
Yeah.
We were talking about Hakeem being 6th, but we won't know until we look at the scorecards.
Jay, please
But
say
you had called initially that William Bonek was
the
probably
5th
going to be
place
in.
score, the check
Correct?
for $40,000
I said
to our 5th
yes,
place
fifth,
finisher,
5th.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement with that. That wouldn't be a bad call.
the Conqueror William.
William the
Bonek.
Conqueror.
You are correct.
William.
But Rich, you didn't get here by being an idiot. Now you're looking like a genius. Look at you. You go, boy.
I was a judge, an IFBB judge.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. You have a little bit more experience in that. And William Bonek, there wasn't a whole lot that he could have done with the lineup ahead of him in terms of what we have as our top 4 finalists. And, of course, the big question mark again is whether or not Brandon Curry's got enough to battle out with Big Ramy. And did Phil do enough to come back to impress the judges to recapture that title?
And I still want to know where Hottie is.
I think I've steadily had Hottie throughout the show in 4th place.
Okay.
That's where I've had him. Once we saw him overcome William,
I
I've
felt
got
the
him.
same way.
Yeah.
But I tell you, what the surprise from prejudging on was Big Ramy.
yeah.
Pulled it, putting everything
Well,
together.
Yeah.
I think amongst those guys, I got Hottie in 4th
The 4th place award, the check for $45,000, and presented to Hottie Chupan.
Okay, guys.
All right.
We were right on that.
Well, I didn't go to school, Rick. I didn't go to college. I didn't graduate, but I got a PhD in bodybuilding.
You definitely did.
And I had my LASIK eye surgery, and I'm now wearing reading glasses, so I can see a little bit. But Hottie did everything he could against what he was up against.
This was a really tough show, and he got 3rd last year. He got the People's Champion Award.
Yeah. He came in at the last minute both years.
Yes.
Can you imagine if that guy was here a month before the Olympia, what he could potentially look like?
Absolutely.
So he dropped a place, but he still looks phenomenal.
Well, guys, before we get into that, you want to talk about what happens when you fly, and he had 2 days to lose that water, to change that physique.
Well, wait a minute. We are on the top 3, Tim. I know you're a rookie at this right here. Top 3, who you got? Who's in 3rd? Drop a name.
I had Brandon in 3rd, but I'm going to see where it's going to be.
Please take
I
the
got
3rd
Phil in
place
3rd. How about you?
Olympia bronze medal.
I think he just
The
got
Czech.
a little bit.
Our 3rd place finisher.
Let's listen to the crowd.
Phil Heath.
Gentlemen.
Wow.
Dropped Bill, 7-time Mr. Olympia, 2-time Mr. Olympia runner-up. On the comeback after a 2-year layoff, comes back and he remains a top 3 bodybuilder on the planet Earth, and that is some kind of accomplishment considering what he gets to.
After 2 years layoff,
Yeah,
coming back.
2 stomach surgeries. He was pretty confident in this contest. What do you think he's thinking now?
You have to consider, should I have come back? What should I have done different? Or do I come back next year and prove that I am Phil Heath and that I had those first 7 Olympias for a good reason?
Well, you know, he did enough to be in the top 3, and he was talking. He was in the conversation to win this contest.
Yes.
In light of all of those, the layoff and the surgeries, and so that leaves us with 2.
Well, you know where my pick is.
Well, you know where my pick is.
I
Big
had
Rich.
Rami from the beginning.
Yes, you did. Our defending champion, Brandon Curry, has done everything he can, but I have to agree with you. I think Rami might have just come in better condition.
And I can't wait to hear the crowd. I can't wait to hear the reaction.
Do you think he did enough?
I most certainly do.
Big Rami.
Big Rami. And I think the crowd is going to go ballistic.
Well, let's see.
Jake Wood, Dan Solomon, the $400,000 check.
The next name
Gold
you
medal
hear
and the title of Mr. Olympia for 2020.
will be your 2020 Olympia champion.
This is the moment, Rich. We've been there. We've been there before,
I've been there, yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, I've been there twice. I know what it feels like. It's Lee Labrada said it felt like you were either going to fly or it was a free fall.
Yeah.
Rami's legs, huh?
Oh, my
Shoulders,
God.
chest.
Shoulders,
Please take
chest.
the first place Olympia gold medal. The first place check for $400,000. And the title of 2020 Mr. Olympia to our winner.
Let's see their face.